So, Jack Green, we finished the course. We're into kind of a quick wrap up and a bit of reflection. We're inviting our warriors now to just be as they go forward on Winter Wellness. And well done for everybody again for completing this course and getting to this point. It's been really cool to have you on board, and we've been, seeing the good comments and the great feedback. So I know some of you have really benefited from this, and that makes it so worth us doing. Um, but Jack, what are your thoughts on now we're done and the journey we've been on together?
Yeah, as you said, really well done to everyone first, because this is quite a lot of content and it's a huge commitment to make to yourself to prioritize your well-being. The one thing I'm sad about, Rob, is that the Anton deck of well-being will no longer be meeting every single week to record a load of content. So I've got to craft a way to keep the Anton deck of well-being going over the next however long.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? A good contact of mine said she thought, "What are they talking about, this Anton deck?" And then she watched the first episode and she's like, "Yeah, I totally get it," but definitely not as funny. Definitely not as funny.
Nowhere near. Yeah, I wish we were. Would be doing pretty well. But for me, it's we were talking about, let's try and round this up in one kind of takeaway. One takeaway is obviously hard to do. I'm going to do it, but there's so much that we could take from this, and everyone will take something different. So, what I'm going to say and what I've taken from it will be completely different to everyone else. But for me, it's around consistency, understanding that well-being requires consistency. You do not become a bad person overnight because you haven't done one thing, but you also don't become great at your well-being by doing the one thing and not doing it again. It's the same way I go into businesses. I know you do the same, Rob, and we talk about continuity and the fact that this conversation and prioritizing your well-being has to continue to happen for it to be authentic, to be consistent, and actually make a difference. And that's no different with the individual. So for me, that's the huge takeaway from this. That I will also take away from my own well-being is I need to be more consistent too.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love it, and I think you're right. People will take different things from this course, and that is the nature of our well-being, that the different aspects will be more important to one person versus another. And so taking away what resonates for you, but being consistent, and just be intentional is probably how I'd summarize that. Just be intentional about your well-being and prioritize it. Again, you'll have seen the effects of different parts of the course, different thinking, different exercises, maybe the mindfulness, whatever it might be. Then take that intent with you throughout 2021 and beyond, and be intentional about your well-being going forward. So I think that's a lovely way to summarize it. I think a personal reflection from me, and as you know, during the recording of this, I've been up and down with my form. I've been up and down with my physical health due to the long COVID. And I think probably going back to some of the initial inspiration sessions is I'm sort of all or nothing, right? I want to be either riding my bike for 10 hours a week or not doing anything and being grumpy because of that. And I think actually setting realistic goals, taking small steps forward, and just continually starting with your well-being is really important. And that consistency you mentioned, if we can do that, we'll just have such a positive effect in magnitude. So for me, I'm just going to kind of back to basics and do those little things that add up to a great thing about managing our well-being. So that's my definite takeaway.
And that reminds me of something I got told the other day by one of the best athletes in the world and a world record holder. And we were talking about consistency because it's so important within everything, within life. And she said to me, if you want to be great, you just need to be good a lot. It was like, you don't need to be great, but you will become great if you are good a lot. And I quite liked that idea. It took away that pressure as well of trying to be a superstar all the time. Actually, I just need to be consistent. I just need to be good, and that will end up with greatness. So important. And then the other thing, and I'd be really interested if anyone wants to contact us after, when you started this course, why did you start it?
Yeah.
And now that you're at the end, has that changed? has your view, and we talked about why in the last session, has your view on well-being or prioritizing your well-being, has that changed from how you started the course? Now, that might not have changed. I could be completely rambling, but I think there could be some interesting answers there. So if anyone wants to share, I'm sure you'd love to hear as well, Rob, but I think
Absolutely.
it'd be really
Yeah, that'd be really interesting to hear. And I think in a broader point, the last thing to leave you with is just take some time now to reflect, just to reflect on the journey, what you've achieved, where you're at, what you still want to achieve, and think of that kind of personal mission of being kind to yourself and practicing self-care consistently. What's next for you based on all of that? So, Jack, thank you. I've really enjoyed these regular chats. It's been such fun to do, and thank you, our warriors, for being with us through this 12-week journey of really being well through the winter months in the Northern Hemisphere. But going forward, putting that into practice. So, thank you all so much.